Hello, everybody. Hey, today we're going to talk about checking your tires on your RV, and I've got a little different way that I do that. My way, it's to me is useful. There's things that you can do, such as set up your weight distribution and things like that. You have to start off with all of your tires set at the proper inflation level, but then after that, just go for a little drive. You stop, you take an infrared thermometer, and you just grab your temperatures, and it gives you all kinds of useful information. One of the interesting things to me when you're driving, if the one side is facing the sun, those tires will generally be a little hotter, or if there's a crown to the road, then your weight distribution is leaning a little bit to that side, and it's going to give you a little higher indication because there's more weight on the tires, which is usually on the right if you're in America. But this question comes up a lot.
Excuse me, sir. I need to ask you a question. What is the right temperature for the tires on my RV vehicle to be?
All right, now I know this ain't the answer that most of you's gonna want to hear, but there ain't no real regular gotta be temperature, cause it's gonna make a difference what the outside temperature is. So if you got that OCD thing, that old Codger's disease, something like that, if you got that, you might just want to stick with the pressure.
There isn't a right temperature. I know that's kind of one of those little oopsies. But here's the thing. If it's like for us today in the 90s, your temperatures are going to be higher than if the temperature was in the 70s. So what you're actually looking for is consistency. So assuming your weight distribution is correct, you're not going to see a lot of difference from one side to the other. You can also check your temperature on your bearings. So this method gives you all kinds of early warnings if you've got a problem. If you have a low tire, that tire is going to be hotter. If you have a bad wheel bearing, that wheel bearing is going to be hotter. And because the temperatures change, conditions change, road surfaces change, you're not going to have a perfect temperature, but you should be within a few degrees. Both tires on the same side should be within a few degrees of each other, and they may vary some from right to left depending on sun, weight distribution, but other than that, and you're still not going to see major discrepancies. You're going to see small discrepancies. So, and the same with the wheel bearings. The wheel bearings don't seem to fluctuate as much for the sunny side of the vehicle as they do for weight distribution. But still, you should be looking at only a few degrees difference. 5, 6, 7, 8 degrees. I wouldn't get worried about anything you start seeing over more than that, and then you start checking your air pressure. But it's just quick and easy. Run around and just literally seconds per tire, you get a very good indication as to whether you need to investigate further or not. So this is just one little quick tip, and I'll give you a demonstration of what that looks like. Okay, one other point just for clarification. You're going to start by going out and making sure all of your inflations are right before you ever get any of this started, and then you can rely on the temperatures. So just wanted, for clarification purposes, to be sure that I got that injected in here. So okay, I need to clear a couple of things up. When I was doing the first part of the video, I was more concerned with my driving than I was with trying to remember everything in the video. I know, what was I thinking, right? But I let a little bit of the air out of the tires in the RV. If you'll notice, the tire temperatures were very consistent on the pickup, and they were a little more erratic on the RV. We were almost home, and I just needed to show some discrepancies there. So, and then I was going to, when I got home, I reinflated my tires, but I forgot to document what the pressures were, so I can't tell you. But you can see there were variations in there, and that's what that was for. And we were just almost home, so I went ahead and did that just for the purposes of the video. So back to the regular part of the video. I just thought I needed to put that little explanation in there so you'd understand what was going on and why. All right, I'm in a pretty noisy location, but what I'm going to show you is the stuff that I use and how this works. So we're at 116 degrees on this tire, 122 on this one. We are 129 on this one and 120 on this one. I'll go ahead and check the bearings. And the ambient temperature, we're at 112 on this one. The ambient temperature when I stopped here was 88 degrees. So just give you a rough idea how this works. So as long as everything's running close to the same temperature, you're good. Check the temperature on the pickup tires while I'm here. 130 on the back. 124 on the front. And if you see there's a little red dot projected on the tire so you know where you're hitting it. Just try to keep your distance relatively consistent. So we're looking good. And if you want to check your brake temperatures, if you're running in some hilly country, you can get into the actual brake rotors. So I'm at 186 degrees. So I just exited the freeway. So gives you a good general reference, and the consistency is what you're looking for. So hard numbers are going to change depending on the outside temperature. Consistency from axle to axle, wheel to wheel is what you're looking for.